Most people dream of change, but here's the hard truth: change doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of habits. Today we're breaking down 10 habits that, if you commit to them, will completely change your life. Ever wonder why some people seem to grow, evolve, and succeed while others stay stuck? It's not luck, talent, or even timing, it's habits. The small, consistent actions you take every day shape your future. In this video, we're diving into 10 transformative habits that will change the way you think, work, and live. These aren't quick fixes or empty promises. These are proven principles designed to help you build a life of resilience, clarity, and purpose. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll see the habits that separate those who succeed from those who don't. Why do so many people fail to change? Because they focus on the wrong things. They chase results, but ignore the process. They want success, but they don't lay the foundation for it. Think about it. You can't grow a tree without planting the seed first. Habits are those seeds. But here's the catch: not all habits are created equal. Some are so small they feel insignificant at first, but over time they compound into massive results. The challenge is knowing which habits are worth your energy. 1. Start your day with intent. How you start your day isn't just about mornings, it's about setting the trajectory for your entire life. If the first moments of your day are filled with distractions and chaos, guess what? That energy follows you through everything else you do. You're reacting instead of directing. You're drifting instead of steering. So let's talk about this habit. It's simple, but don't let simplicity fool you into thinking it's not powerful. Here's the habit: spend the first 10 minutes of your day planning IT. Now, you might think only 10 minutes? Can that really make a difference? Let me ask you this: have you ever walked into a room with no idea what you were looking for? You wander around hoping something will jog your memory. That's what your day is like without a plan. It's aimless. But when you take those 10 minutes to set your focus, it's like walking into that room with a clear purpose. You know what you're there to do? Start by asking yourself 3 questions. 1. What are the 3 most important things I want to accomplish today? 2. Why do these things matter to me? 3. What's one small step I can take right now to move forward? Notice I said 3 things, not 10, not 20. Why? Because when everything is a priority, nothing is. Focusing on just 3 forces you to identify what truly matters. Let's get practical. Maybe your list looks like this. Finish that work project you've been putting off, and spend quality time with your family. Or hit the gym for 30 minutes. Simple, right? But when you write it down, something magical happens. It's no longer just a thought floating around in your head. It becomes a commitment. Now I hear the excuses already. I'm too busy, my mornings are chaotic. Here's the thing: if you don't have 10 minutes for yourself in the morning, you don't have a time problem, you have a priority problem. The truth is, you can always make time for the things that matter. And here's where it gets interesting. This habit doesn't just impact your mornings. Over time, it changes the way you approach life. You stop living by default and start living by design. You realize that you're in control, not your circumstances, not your distractions, not your to-do list. Here's a challenge for you: try this habit for the next 7 days. Just 7. Spend 10 minutes each morning planning your day. Write down your 3 priorities. Reflect on why they matter. And then watch what happens. Watch how much more focused, productive, and calm you feel. Watch how the small act of planning creates a ripple effect that touches every part of your life. The way you start your day matters, so take control of it. 2. Prioritize your health. Here's a harsh reality: you can have all the success in the world, but if your health is failing, none of it will matter. Think about it. What good is wealth if you're too tired to enjoy it? What good are big dreams if your body can't keep up with them? Your body is the only vehicle you get for this journey called life. You can't trade it in for a newer model, and you can't upgrade it with a simple repair. The good news? You don't need perfection, you just need consistency. Let's simplify this habit into something anyone can follow. Commit to 30 minutes of movement every day. That's it, 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be complicated. Walk around your neighborhood. Stretch in your living room. Dance to your favorite playlist. The what doesn't matter as much as the how often. Now, let me be clear. This isn't about becoming a fitness fanatic. This is about energy. When you move your body, you generate energy, and energy is the fuel for everything else in your life. You'll think more clearly. You'll handle stress better. You'll feel more capable of tackling challenges. But movement is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about what you're putting into your body. Here's a simple rule to live by: eat what fuels you, not just what you craved out. I'm not saying you can't enjoy a slice of pizza or a piece of cake every now and then. But if your diet is built entirely on junk, your body will feel like junk. Think of it this way: your body is like a high-performance car. Would you fill a Ferrari with cheap, low-quality fuel? Of course not. You'd give it what it needs to run smoothly and efficiently. Your body deserves the same care. Here's another truth about health: it's not about extremes. You don't need to spend hours in the gym or follow some restrictive diet. Those things might work in the short term, but they're not sustainable. What works is finding small, consistent actions that you can stick to for the long haul. And let's address the elephant in the room time. I don't have time to exercise, I'm too busy to cook healthy meals. Sound familiar? Here's the reality: if you don't make time for your health now, you'll be forced to make time for illness later. You'll have no choice but to slow down when your body demands it. So let's flip the script. Instead of thinking about what you have to give up to prioritize your health, think about what you'll gain: more energy, better focus, a longer, fuller life. And here's the kicker: when you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to take care of everything else. Your work improves, your relationships improve, your outlook on life improves. Let me leave you with this: health isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. So start today. Move for 30 minutes, choose one meal to make healthier, drink more water. These small actions might not seem like much, but over time they add up to something extraordinary. Your health is your wealth. Invest in it wisely. 3, read every day. Let me ask you a question: when was the last time you sat down and fed your mind? I'm not talking about scrolling through social media or catching up on news headlines. I'm talking about truly investing in your intellectual growth. You see, your mind is like a garden. If you don't deliberately plant seeds of wisdom, growth, and creativity, guess what takes root? Weeds. And those weeds: negativity, ignorance, distraction, don't need any encouragement. They thrive on neglect. This brings us to one of the simplest yet most transformative habits you can adopt: reading every day. Not for hours, not entire books in one sitting, just 10 pages a day. That's it. Think about how manageable that is. 10 pages. If you did this every day, you'd finish a 300-page book in a month. That's 12 books a year. Now imagine the depth of knowledge, insight, and perspective you'd gain by doing this consistently. But why read? Isn't the internet full of free information? Sure it is, but books do something different. They force you to slow down. They take you deep into an idea, a story, or a concept in a way that no quick article or YouTube video can. Books are a conversation with some of the greatest minds in history. Let's talk about what to read. This is where most people get stuck. They walk into a bookstore or browse online and feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of options. Here's a simple tip: read books that align with your goals. Want to grow personally? Read books on self-development. Want to lead better? Pick up books on leadership and influence. Want to master a skill? Dive into books specific to that skill. Here's why this matters: when you align your reading with your goals, it's not just passive learning, it's active transformation. You're not just consuming information, you're applying it to your life. And don't overlook the power of rereading. Some books are worth revisiting every few years because their lessons deepen as you grow. What spoke to you as a beginner might resonate differently once you've gained more experience. Let me share an example. Think of someone who reads just 10 pages a day on personal finance. Over time, they start to understand concepts like budgeting, investing, and building wealth. They apply what they've learned, and years later, their financial situation looks completely different, not because of one big move, but because of countless small, daily steps. Now, some people will say, I don't have time to read, but let's be honest, we all have time for the things we prioritize. How many minutes do you spend on your phone every day? How much time is lost to distractions? Reading isn't about finding time, it's about making time. Here's a practical tip to get started: keep a book within arm's reach. Carry one with you wherever you go. Waiting in line? Read. Got 10 minutes before bed? Read. It's these small moments that add up over time. Reading is more than a habit, it's a statement. It says, I'm committed to growing. I'm committed to becoming more than I was yesterday, and that's powerful. 4, master the art of saying no. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed, overcommitted, and drained, wondering how you got there? Chances are it's because you've said yes to too many things. Here's the harsh truth: every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to something that does. This isn't just about time, it's about energy, focus, and ultimately the life you want to build. You see, saying yes is easy. It feels good in the moment. It avoids conflict, keeps people happy, and sometimes makes you feel important. But over time, all those yeses pile up and leave you with little room for what truly matters. Here's a habit that will change everything: learn to say no without guilt. Now, this doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It's about being intentional. Before agreeing to anything, pause and ask yourself one simple question: does this move me closer to where I want to be? If the answer is no, then the choice is clear. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone invites you to a meeting that has nothing to do with your goals. You know it'll take up hours of your time and leave you with little to show for it. Saying no might feel uncomfortable, but by doing so, you've just protected those hours for something that actually matters, whether it's working on a project, spending time with loved ones, or simply resting. Now let's address the elephant in the room: the fear of disappointing others. This fear keeps so many people trapped in a cycle of overcommitment. But here's the thing: people respect those who respect their own time. When you say no with clarity and kindness, you set a standard, you teach others that your time is valuable, and you inspire them to value theirs too. Here's how to say no effectively. 1, be polite but firm. Say something like, I appreciate the offer, but I'm unable to commit right now. 2, offer an alternative if it feels appropriate. For example, I can't join this project, but I'm happy to connect you with someone who might be able to help. 3, stand your ground. Some people will push back. That's okay. Your job isn't to make everyone happy, it's to stay true to your priorities. The beauty of this habit is that it creates space. When you start saying no to the things that don't matter, you free yourself to say yes to the things that do. You'll have more time for your passions, your goals, and the people who truly matter in your life. And here's the ultimate takeaway: saying no isn't just about protecting your time. It's about honoring your vision. It's about recognizing that your energy is finite and choosing to direct it where it has the most impact. So here's your challenge the next time someone asks for your time. Pause, reflect. And if it doesn't align with your goals, say no with confidence, kindness, and clarity. Because every no to something unimportant is a yes to your future. 5. Reflect daily. Let's face it, most people go through their days on autopilot. They wake up, rush through tasks, and collapse into bed, only to repeat the same routine the next day. But here's the problem without reflection. How do you know if you're improving? How do you know if the choices you're making today are moving you closer to the life you want tomorrow? Reflection is one of the simplest yet most powerful habits you can adopt. It doesn't require any fancy tools, apps, or expensive programs. All it takes is 5 minutes at the end of your day. That's it. 5 minutes to ask yourself 3 simple questions. 1. What went well today? 2. What didn't go as planned? 3. What can I improve tomorrow? These questions might seem basic, but their impact is profound. Let's break it down. First, what went well today? This isn't about patting yourself on the back or inflating your ego. It's about acknowledging progress, no matter how small. Maybe you finally tackled that task you've been putting off. Maybe you had a meaningful conversation with a friend. By identifying what went well, you train your mind to focus on the positives, which builds momentum and motivation. Next, what didn't go as planned? Now, this isn't about beating yourself up. It's not about guilt or shame. It's about honesty. Maybe you procrastinated. Maybe you lost your temper in a conversation. Maybe you overcommitted and felt overwhelmed. By identifying where you fell short, you create an opportunity to learn and adjust. Finally, what can I improve tomorrow? This is where the magic happens. Reflection isn't about dwelling on mistakes, it's about learning from them. When you commit to just one small improvement each day, the results compound over time. Imagine if every day you became just 1% better. By the end of the year, your progress would be extraordinary. Now, let me tell you why reflection is so powerful. It builds self-awareness, and self-awareness is the foundation of growth. Without it, you're flying blind. With it, you're flying blind. With it, you gain clarity, purpose, and direction. Here's a practical tip to make this habit stick. Keep a journal by your bedside. Before you sleep, jot down your answers to those 3 questions. Don't overthink it. Just write what comes to mind. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns. You'll see what consistently works for you and what doesn't. And with that knowledge, you can make better decisions. Here's an example. Let's say you've been reflecting on your productivity. You notice that on the days you check your phone first thing in the morning, you feel scattered and unproductive. But on the days you start with a clear plan, you feel focused and accomplished. Armed with this insight, you decide to leave your phone outside your bedroom and begin each day with a to-do list instead. That small change discovered through reflection could transform your mornings and your life. The truth is, life moves fast. If you don't take the time to pause and reflect, you'll miss the lessons it's trying to teach you. But when you make reflection a daily habit, you turn your life into a classroom, and every day becomes an opportunity to grow. 6. Embrace discomfort. Here's a universal truth: growth lives outside your comfort zone. Think about it. Every major accomplishment, every breakthrough, every moment of progress, it all happened when you stepped into discomfort. Yet, most people spend their lives avoiding it. Why? Because discomfort is, well, uncomfortable. But what if I told you that discomfort isn't your enemy? What if I told you it's your greatest ally? Because here's the thing, discomfort is where the magic happens. It's where you stretch, learn, and become more than you were yesterday. Let's start with a simple example, speaking up in a meeting. For many, the mere thought of voicing their opinion is terrifying. Their heart races, their palms sweat, and they convince themselves it's safer to stay quiet. But every time you choose comfort over courage, you miss an opportunity to grow. Now imagine pushing through that fear. You raise your hand, share your thoughts, and realize you had something valuable to contribute all along. That's growth. The same principle applies to physical challenges. Take a tough workout, for instance. In the moment, your muscles burn, your breath quickens, and your mind screams for you to stop. But you push through. And in doing so, you become stronger, not just physically, but mentally. You prove to yourself that you can endure discomfort and come out better on the other side. Discomfort also plays a crucial role in learning new skills. Whether it's mastering a new language, starting a business, or learning an instrument, the beginning stages are always awkward. You'll stumble, make mistakes, and feel like giving up. But if you stick with it, those early struggles transform into competence and eventually mastery. So how do you embrace discomfort? It starts with a mindset shift. Instead of seeing discomfort as something to fear, see it as a signal that you're growing. When you feel that twinge of unease, that's your cue to lean in, not back away. Here's a practical tip. Make it a habit to do one thing every day that challenges you. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's taking a cold shower, initiating a difficult conversation, or trying a new activity. The goal is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Over time, discomfort will lose its power over you. What once felt terrifying will become manageable. What once seemed impossible will become second nature. And here's the best part: when you make discomfort your ally, your confidence skyrockets. You realize that you can handle anything life throws your way because you've built the resilience to face it head on. The most successful, fulfilled, and growth-oriented people in the world didn't get there by staying in their comfort zones. They got there by embracing discomfort one challenge at a time. So the next time you face something hard, don't shy away. Step into it. Because on the other side of discomfort lies the person you're meant to become. Then, protect your focus. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you worked on something without interruptions? Not for 5 minutes, but for an hour, 2 hours, or even longer. Chances are, it's been a while. And it's not your fault. The world we live in is designed to steal your focus. Notifications, emails, social media, endless scrolling, they all compete for your attention every second of the day. But here's the truth: your ability to focus deeply on a task is your greatest asset. It's what separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who stay stuck in mediocrity. If you can protect your focus, you can accomplish more in one day than most people do in a week. So how do you do it? It starts with understanding that focus isn't something that just happens, it's something you have to create. And that means being intentional about how you manage your time and energy. Here's a habit that can change everything: schedule deep work blocks into your day. These are dedicated periods of time when you focus on one high-impact task without distractions. No multitasking, no interruptions. Just pure, undivided attention. Let me paint a picture of what this looks like. Imagine starting your day with a clear plan. You've identified the 1 or 2 tasks that matter, most of the tasks that, if completed, will move the needle in your life or career. Now, instead of diving into your inbox or checking social media, you set a timer for 90 minutes. During this time, you close all unnecessary tabs, silence your phone, and create an environment that supports deep focus. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. Your mind will wander. You'll feel tempted to check your phone or take a break. But if you push through, something incredible happens. You enter a state of flow, a state where time seems to disappear and you're fully immersed in the task at hand. In this state, your productivity skyrockets and the quality of your work reaches new heights. Now let's talk about distractions. They're everywhere, and if you're not proactive, they'll derail your focus every time. Start by identifying your biggest distractions. Is it your phone? Social media? Interruptions from coworkers or family members? Once you know what's pulling you away from your work, you can take steps to eliminate or minimize those distractions. For example, if your phone is a constant source of interruptions, put it on Do Not Disturb mode during your deep work blocks. Better yet, place it in another room. If social media is the problem, use apps or browser extensions to block access during your work hours. And if interruptions from others are the issue, communicate your boundaries. Let people know when you're unavailable and stick to it. Here's another tip: create a ritual to signal the start of your deep work block. This could be as simple as closing your door, putting on noise-canceling headphones, or setting a specific playlist. Over time, this ritual will train your brain to associate that action with focused work, making it easier to get into the zone. But protecting your focus isn't just about managing your environment, it's also about managing your energy. You can't focus deeply if you're exhausted or burned out. That's why it's crucial to prioritize rest, exercise, and proper nutrition. A well-rested, energized mind is far more capable of deep work than a tired, sluggish one. Finally, remember this: focus is a skill. Like any skill, it gets stronger with practice. The more you prioritize deep work, the easier it becomes. And as your ability to focus improves, so will your results. In a world where everyone is distracted, the ability to concentrate is a superpower. Protect your focus and you'll unlock your full potential. 8. Build meaningful relationships. Here's a truth that often gets overlooked: no one succeeds alone. Behind every great achievement is a network of people who supported, guided, and challenged the person to reach their potential. Whether it's friends, mentors, colleagues, or family, relationships are the foundation of a fulfilling and successful life. But in today's fast-paced world, it's easy to neglect the relationships that matter. We get so caught up in our own lives, our work, our goals, our problems, that we forget to invest in the people around us. And that's a mistake. Because at the end of the day, it's the connections we build with others that bring the most meaning to our lives. So how do you build meaningful relationships? It starts with one simple habit: make time for the people who matter. This doesn't mean you have to spend hours every day catching up with everyone you know. It means being intentional about nurturing the relationships that truly matter, the ones that inspire, support, and challenge you. Let's start with friends. When was the last time you reached out to a friend just to check in? Not because you needed something, but because you genuinely cared about how they were doing? A simple text, a quick call, or even a coffee meetup can go a long way in maintaining a strong connection. Next, think about mentorship. Do you have someone in your life who can guide you, offer advice, and help you see things from a different perspective? If not, consider seeking out a mentor. This doesn't have to be a formal arrangement. It can be as simple as reaching out to someone you admire and asking for their insight. But relationships aren't just about what you can get. They're also about what you can give. Who can you mentor? Who can you support or encourage? By investing in others, you create a ripple effect of positivity that benefits everyone involved. Now, let's talk about the quality of your relationships. It's not about how many people you know, it's about the depth of your connections. Are the people in your life adding value, or are they draining your energy? Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better. And don't be afraid to distance yourself from relationships that no longer serve you. Here's another key to building meaningful relationships: be present. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your full attention is a rare and valuable gift. When you're with someone, put your phone away. Listen actively. Show genuine interest in what they have to say. These small actions can strengthen your connections in ways you can't imagine. And don't underestimate the power of appreciation. How often do you take the time to express gratitude to the people in your life? A simple thank you or I appreciate you can deepen your relationships and make others feel valued. Remember that relationships take effort. They don't thrive on autopilot. They require time, attention, and care, but the effort you put in is always worth it. Because at the end of the day, it's the people in your life who make the journey worthwhile. So take a moment to think about your relationships. Who do you need to reconnect with? Who can you support or mentor? What small action can you take today to strengthen a connection? Start there, because no matter how successful or independent you are, the truth remains we're all better together. 9. Practice gratitude. Let me tell you something that's often overlooked in the pursuit of success. It's not what you have, but how you think about what you have that shapes your happiness. Many people focus so much on what they're lacking that they completely miss the abundance already in their lives. That's where gratitude comes in. Gratitude is a simple habit with profound effects. It's not about ignoring challenges or pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what's going right, even when things aren't ideal. This shift in perspective can change everything from how you approach your goals to how you handle setbacks. So how do you make gratitude a daily habit? It starts with small, intentional actions. Every day, take just a few minutes to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be monumental. It could be as simple as a cup of coffee in the morning, a warm smile from a stranger, or the fact that you have another day to work towards your dreams. But here's the key: don't just go through the motions. Really think about why you're grateful for these things. If you're thankful for your morning coffee, is it because it gives you energy, or because it's a moment of peace before the day begins? If you're grateful for a friend, is it because of their support, their humor, or the way they inspire you? Digging deeper helps you feel the gratitude more intensely, which strengthens the habit over time. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're having a tough day. Nothing seems to be going right, and you're frustrated. In that moment, it's easy to spiral into negativity, but if you pause and practice gratitude, everything shifts. Maybe you're grateful for the lesson hidden in the challenge. Maybe you're thankful for the opportunity to grow stronger. Even in difficult times, there's always something to appreciate. Gratitude also has a way of changing your interactions with others. When you regularly focus on what you're thankful for, you're more likely to express appreciation to the people around you. A simple thank you or a heartfelt compliment can brighten someone's day and strengthen your relationships. And here's a surprising benefit: gratitude fuels resilience. Life isn't always smooth sailing. There will be setbacks, failures, and disappointments. But when you have a habit of gratitude, it's easier to bounce back. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you'll naturally look for what you can learn and how you can move forward. Science even backs this up. Studies show that practicing gratitude can improve mental health, boost happiness, and even enhance physical well-being. It lowers stress, improves sleep, and makes you more optimistic about the future. And all it takes is a few minutes a day. So here's the challenge for the next 30 days. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning or every night. Keep it simple. Be consistent. And watch how it transforms your perspective. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good practice, it's a powerful tool for creating a life of abundance and joy. 10. Take action every day. If there's one habit that ties everything together, it's this: take action. You can plan, strategize, and dream all you want, but none of it matters until you take that first step. Here's the thing about action: it's the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how much you know or how much you've prepared. The person who acts will always outpace the person who hesitates. That's why this habit is so critical. It's not just about moving closer to your goals, it's about building momentum, confidence, and a sense of purpose. Let's break this down. Imagine you set a big goal. Maybe it's starting a business, losing weight, or learning a new skill. At first, the goal feels exciting, but then reality sets in. You realize how much work it's going to take, and suddenly you feel overwhelmed. That's when many people stop. They wait for the right time or perfect circumstances, but here's the truth: there's never a perfect time. Action doesn't have to be big or dramatic. In fact, it's often the small, consistent steps that make the biggest difference. Think about it this way: if you improve by just 1% every day, where will you be in a year? That's the power of consistent action. Start with one small step. If your goal is to get fit, maybe that step is a 10-minute walk. If your goal is to write a book, maybe it's drafting the first sentence. If your goal is to save money, maybe it's skipping that expensive coffee today. The key is to do something, anything that moves you forward. And here's the beauty of action: it creates clarity. When you're stuck in your head, overthinking every detail, it's easy to get paralyzed. But when you take action, even if it's not perfect, you learn. You see what works and what doesn't. And that knowledge helps you take better actions in the future. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room: fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. It's what stops most people from taking action. Here's the secret: you don't have to eliminate fear. You just have to act despite it. Fear is a natural part of growth. If you're not a little scared, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Here's another tip: make action a non-negotiable part of your day. Treat it like brushing your teeth or eating meals. It's just something you do. You don't wait for motivation, you rely on discipline. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline creates results. And remember, action breeds confidence. Every time you take a step, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Over time, this builds self-trust and resilience. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who makes things happen. Don't wait. Start now, take the first step, and then the next. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Here's the most powerful thing about habits: they compound. One small action repeated daily can transform your life in ways you can't imagine. But this only works if you commit. You won't see results overnight, and that's okay. Real change takes time. Think of it like planting a tree. At first, it's just a seed in the ground. You water it, care for it, and see no visible progress. But beneath the surface, roots are growing. Then one day, it breaks through the soil. Over time, it grows into something strong and unshakable. Your habits are the same. Trust the process, stay consistent, and the results will come. Your future isn't shaped by big decisions or lucky breaks. It's shaped by the small, consistent habits you choose every day. These 10 habits might seem simple, but they hold the power to transform your life. The question is, will you commit?